Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Haydalee. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button down there. And if you've been following me all along, I just want to say thank you so much. In my last two videos, I've gotten a lot of support, a lot of love, and I really want to thank everybody who keeps hitting that subscribe button and wanting to follow my journey. For today's video, as you saw from the title, we're going to jump right into talking about rosemary oil. It's incredible at preventing further hair loss, but it's also even more incredible at allowing you to grow your hair at a faster rate and to allow new hair regrowth. So we're gonna jump right into it, but first, my new intro. If you watched my last video, you know that I have something called Telogen Effluvium, aka TE, aka stress-induced hair loss. And I've had that for about 7 to 8 months at this point, and I've gone through different treatments. I've been to the dermatologist. I've been doing cortisol shots every 2 weeks. The treatments have really helped increasing the regrowth rate of my hair. Nothing has necessarily stopped the hair loss, but definitely reduced it a little bit. Now what I really wanted to talk to you all about are the amazing properties of rosemary oil and how it really is incredible at allowing your hair to regrow fast. When I asked my doctor what he recommends that I supplement, the cortisol shots with just to allow my hair to grow back faster, he recommended Minoxidil right away. And I had some pretty bad side effects with Minoxidil, so check out my last video to see what that was about. I feel like a lot of doctors don't recommend such a natural and effective way at preventing hair loss as well as at inducing hair regrowth. Rosemary oil is so undervalued. My doctor went straight to the pharmaceutical drug when there is a very natural way that it's scientifically proven to work just as well as Minoxidil. So it's really undervalued. If you are using Minoxidil, it works. Like, it really did work for me. However, if you're experiencing some side effects and want a more natural way to regrow your hair just as effective, keep watching. So rosemary oil is an antimicrobial, antioxidant, and anti-inflammatory kind of oil. It's very versatile. It can be used for various things. It can be used for indigestion. It enhances memory. It could be used for cellulite and much, much more. But for our purposes, it could definitely be used to regrow hair and to prevent further hair loss. It can treat different kinds of hair loss like alopecia areata, androgenetic alopecia, and even like telogen effluvium. So it has a wide variety of like hair loss pathologies that it could treat. In 2015, scientists conducted a randomized comparative trial, or in other words, a study that pinned 2% Minoxidil versus rosemary oil in a group of patients that had androgenetic alopecia to compare which treatment allows hair to regrow faster. I will link the research paper below in case you are a scientific geek like myself and want to read all about it. The gist of the experiment was just basically there were 100 patients that had androgenetic alopecia. 50 were randomly selected to be in the Minoxidil group and 50 were randomly selected to be in the rosemary oil treatment for a course of about 6 months. The article found two things. One, there's no difference in effectiveness between Minoxidil and rosemary oil. Two, the side effects of itchy scalp was less pronounced in the group that had the rosemary oil. To go more in depth, the study found that by the 3rd month, neither rosemary oil nor Minoxidil had improved significantly the hair count in patients. However, fear not, because by the 6th month, they had found that both Minoxidil and rosemary oil had increased the hair count in these patients. So what does this teach us? That patience and allowing a treatment to take its time will really get us to where we want to be. Patience is key when you're dealing with any sort of hair loss or alopecia. Patience is key. The other thing it teaches us is that there's a perfectly natural way of regrowing our hair, and we don't need the Minoxidil. All right, enough about that study. let's get into how do we use rosemary oil, how do we make it, how do we apply it to our scalp. Let's go. The way that I make my rosemary oil treatment is by mixing this rosemary oil. So I buy this from Amazon because I am too lazy to like go through the whole other process, which I'll tell you guys in a little bit. So basically I put half of this in a bottle and I also mix it in with a carrier oil, whether that is olive oil or coconut oil or almond oil. So I do half of this little bottle and about 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 to 3 tablespoons of coconut oil, and I sometimes I add a little bit of lavender in there or peppermint oil in there. So you can play around with what kinds of oils you add, but you know the main ingredient is the rosemary oil. Some people like to do it another way. I like to just sometimes add the natural leaves in there, as you can see, that I buy from the supermarket. Some people like to do it like in some extreme natural way. They go to their local supermarket, they buy the rosemary leaves, and they basically cook the rosemary leaves with olive oil and coconut oil in a pot for like 5 hours, and it really creates like this beautiful rosemary oil mixture. But you know, I prefer to do it this way because it's a little bit less work and I don't have to cook something for 5 hours. There's many videos out there of like different ways to do it, but again, this is the way I prefer to do it. Now, applying the rosemary oil on your scalp is a little tricky. So what I would suggest for you all to do is to try it a little bit of the mixture that you've made, put it on your skin and leave it on there for a little while just to see what happens. If you have any form of reaction, and if you don't, that's great. Now you can go ahead and apply it to your scalp. Just because rosemary oil, even sometimes when it's mixed, can be a little bit irritating. If it does cause some irritation, try adding more carrier oil, try adding a little bit more coconut oil. One thing I wanted to mention is to leave the rosemary oil on your head. Like, you don't want to just put it on and take it out 5 minutes later because it's not going to be effective. You have to leave it on, or leave it on for 15 minutes if you don't necessarily like the smell or whatever. I love the smell. It's very like menthol like. If you've ever smelled Vicks, it kind of smells like that in a way. Now, using the rosemary oil mixture that you make, I would say to start using it 2 to 3 times a week and see how you feel and how your scalp feels, and then from there ramp it up to like every day if you really want to. For me right now, I'm using it about 2 to 3 times a week. I have some hairs coming in, but starting February 28th, I'm going to ramp it up, and I think I'm going to use it like every day, and I'm going to show you guys my 6-month hair growth journey with this rosemary oil treatment. So stay tuned for my 6-month results in August. All right guys, so we've reached the end of our video. Let me know in the comments below if you are going to try this treatment. If you have already tried it in the past and it's worked for you, please let us know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.